I'm looking for today. So I just connected my speaker. Okay, cool. So I haven't done a little video in a while. It's nice to kind of jump back on. A lot of things have been happening. Challenges have been passed, just passed another 100K the other day, which is super nice to see. Got a few payouts coming as well, which is nice as well. So let's take a look at what is happening. So first of all, let's start with the dollar and just see what's happening. Let me just cool move. All right, so let's have a bit of a rundown. So dollar, don't know who's been looking at this, but I've been waiting for this area to get met for quite a while. Just because it hasn't happened right yet, doesn't mean it may not happen from my mitigations that I've been looking at. Let's go in here. Cross in here. There was a lot of other mitigations within this big point. Go in here. And now we are just waiting for maybe this zone to get met or this imbalance, basically the same thing, same area. Cool. So could be looking at a few different areas that we want to be looking to trade for. First of all, what we need to be looking for or looking at is where is our liquidity resting. So you can see we have quite a big amount of liquidity resting in these highs. So really what I would like to see is, well, we have liquidity in the form of lows as well. We are in this kind of wedge at the moment. What I could or would want to see is either a move like this, run the high, run all these highs, and then come back down, or we run this to then come up into here. So dollar is obviously bullish, and if we are going with this bullish momentum, then like it wouldn't be shocking if we did go up. This, like I said, this zone is still something I've been looking at for quite a while. We have a massive area of supply and demand within this whole major region, and I've been through this so many times on my previous video. This is within the 50% zone of what we're looking for. You can see we can narrow it down, and price has just kind of been moving and running. So we did have this shift here. Is kind of an intermediate term break of structure, obviously. But since then we have mitigated and we have respected this low, and we've kind of just been creating this consolidation movement. So I do want to see something kind of push back down here, and then we go long. So look how much I've just identified on the weekly already. You know, like so many people use the lower time frames, which in for intraday, which completely is absolutely fine. But sometimes it is also good just to take a step back and really take a look at what the higher time frames are doing, because I feel like from my years of trading, I've always found that the higher time frames work more with what your analysis shows rather than lower time frame. Obviously, lower time frames do work. I'm not saying that because I trade intraday whatsoever, but in terms of just looking at the high time frame perspective, gives you a lot more clear bias of what is kind of really happening. So let's have a look on the daily. Daily, we have come into this major point of supply up in here. Didn't really do that much with the supply, didn't really cause anything, if I'm going to be honest. If we'd actually broken, that would have been a bit better. We didn't actually get that. In here, we did kind of mitigate just, or did we? Oh no, we just missed it. So we still have all these highs, to be honest with you, and I can still see all of these highs get taken. What was this? This was Monday. Oh, we'll have to drop it down. But going into kind of the here and now, dollar's kind of a bit in a weird point because I do want to see price push higher, and I could also see price push lower. We have a massive point of liquidity all within here, all within these lows. We have zones that have not been tested yet. What we could possibly see as a potential idea if price did just want to continue going long, we could even see some sort of move back down, just run these lows and continue higher and continue in this daily bullish momentum. Because even though I was looking on the weekly, that is then when you drop it down, see what happens. And then if price invalidates this, if we're coming in here and we just break lower, that's then when I would be looking at my weekly bias. Anything dropping down, I'm not gonna just completely ignore, because on this is the daily move, so this is still a heck of a move that like can be caught, and I'm in the intraday trader, so there's a lot of opportunities that are just going to be in the short move here against other pairs, obviously. So first of all, you want to be looking for your last point where price could actually come down. So we came down into this guy, this breaker block here, and we mitigated, and then we broke structure. Calm. We're just looking for the zone that caused this breaker structure. We did have a slight mitigation of this high here. Wouldn't be surprised if we came back down or maybe ran something in here, which then does give me the potential idea that we could just run all of this. But saying that, just because we do have liquidity here, liquidity can be resting in markets for bloody ages, and this is a perfect example. Even like just in these highs, probably in here, there's I'm sure liquidity or within here. So liquidity can be rested in the market for ages. So for the here and now, though, I definitely will be looking at this zone. We can break it down. Let's go to a 12-hour, see what we got in here. 12-hour, not too much. 4-hour. 4-hour. So we do have slight imbalance here. We just got kind of a basic move. I would kind of just be still looking at that overall zone. Did we even test something on the 12-hour? No, so we haven't even tested anything yet on the 12-hour. So if price just what the hell is that? If price did just roll over, I wouldn't be mad. I would be definitely looking for some sort of accumulations within this point. If we do get some shifts of momentum and we do get some raids of liquidity, that is what I am going to be looking for. But for the time being, though, just looking for as an overall bias, it's not really looking too clean. What we do want to be seeing, we want to be seeing if this high or this low is going to be broken. That's what our major daily swings are going to be. So we can just those out. This is our low. This is our high. So with the potential of what we've just come up with on the dollar, if we invert it, this is potentially what we should be looking for. XXX USD pairs. So we either want to be looking for the longs to then short, or potentially just the short. So let's go check it out. Gold. Gold is a pair I've been following for quite a while. I passed 100K on a long, when was it, on Monday? Wait, what day are we on? Sunday, Tuesday, Monday. In here, I caught a long. Where are we? Well, let's just do the top down first, and then we'll go into it. Cool. So weekly, restart our charts. Cool. Nice, clean, fresh charts. So what are we looking at and for? So we have our weekly high here, and we have our weekly low here. This is the range that we're looking to come into. Personally, for me, what has always been on the cards, and what I do see in the future is 2,500. That is a zone that I am definitely keeping an eye out on for, and I think everyone else should as well. But it depends how we're gonna do it first. On the weekly, are we gonna have a run to come into this psychological level and then actually have a bit of a dive and start sweeping some in here. Just because we died off a bit, price has been so bullish anyway. So even if price, let's just say for this, even if price came all the way back down into here, well, even if price came down all the way back into here, that is still going to be, we can still be looking for longs. I mean, that's our kind of true break of structure. If we're looking from our fib levels from our low to a high, why am I looking here? Because this high wasn't broken until this low was created. A lot of people said, saying it's this, but if you're looking at the overall kind of swing, which is why structure is so important, this is our move. That's what we want to be looking for. Everything else is just kind of low time frame intermediate. So 2,500 is on the cards that I do want to see. If we can get there, fantastic. If not, and price starts going down lower, obviously we can be looking for lower targets. I've been looking to see if this low is going to get run, but we haven't yet. We had an Asian low somewhere in here, yeah, like 2 a.m., which wasn't raided. And in here, yeah, we have an Asian low again as well, which wasn't raided. So I was really looking for that. But again, we didn't get that. That's fine. That is just an indication for me to tell me that price could potentially come down here at some point. So on the 12-hour, we ran this and we then pretty much died off. We didn't break structure. We did not break structure. So an area that I do potentially want to see that we could, if we can get traded into, is this imbalance zone here. Why have I taken the imbalance in here? Because not only did we have a massive imbalance in here, price then also created another imbalance. So I've used these trades quite a few times and they're just like an inverted inefficiency gap, inverted imbalance, whatever you want to call them. And these zones have been quite nice, I found, to trade from. So not only just that confluence, but the fact this is kind of an overall zone that I'm looking for, and because I'm a day trader, there's going to be quite a few difference between, if we just run this home, there's over 2,000 pips within here. So I wouldn't want to, if I'm ever using the high time frames, I always, even if I've got because I've got a POI up here, I've got this as a POI, I've got this as a POI, I will always, depending on which account I'm using, if I'm swinging, I'll always have the first POI as just my target, because if price comes up, boom, hits our target, that's amazing. I do will then want to see some sort of accumulation, and then there's going to be another opportunity to get in on. So if you're doing well and the market's paying you, like greed is such a big factor, and I've learned this lesson way too many times in my past. So I always find if you're using the well, we should be using all of the time frames together, but if you're using a high time frame and you've got your certain zones that you're looking for, personally for me, I would be using those zones as like target 1, target 2, target 3, and then you can trade low, because even if you got into a long, let's just say for example there was some sort of trade like this, even if you just have this to the high, that's still a 1 to 3, that's still an amazing trade. Either or you could have swung 1 to 6. So these are still amazing opportunities that you can get day trading. You don't have to always swing one massive position. So now we got out of the way, let's go and see what was happening recently. What I will do really quick is what I always like to do is just look for the Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Cool. So for this week, what do we have already? We should sort of be able to see that we are shifting above here. We have an imbalance, inefficiency, whatever you want to call it. Here, that yellow. We do also have a daily zone in here. But again, if we're going to come into this daily zone, we're obviously going to be coming in to close that imbalance. So just kind of a general pullback is what I'm kind of looking for. What we didn't do, which I was quite surprised about yesterday, which is fine. We didn't, let me just change this bit. We didn't run this low, which is making me think that we could have a run and then go into a long. Why do I maybe think that? Well, because the dollar and gold move invertedly. So if we're looking for a move to go long then short, that means on dollar, if we invert it, we should be looking for a long then a short. So gold. What could we see? Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Interesting. So, as a general rule, if dollar is going up, gold is going down because people invest in gold when the price of dollar is going down. But just because it's not lining up as nicely as I want, I feel sometimes gold does generally have a mind of its own. And if you are looking at the dollar, I use the dollar as an overall perspective to give me a general idea, more so with the currencies. But if you're doing an analysis, I would never base it purely on another pair. I've made that mistake, learned from my mistakes. I know two pairs will correlate. I know AUD USD and gold correlate because Australia is they mine gold over there, so it's they correlate really well. And there's been times where gold has been dying and AUD USD has been going up. So don't always use correlations as like a major thing, but have it as another confluence. And when they do line up, it does always give you that little bit of boost of confirmation. So going into this week, so Monday we died, Tuesday consolidated, Wednesday kind of doing something. We have two points that we can be looking for. We're just kind of waiting to see which one is really going to be the best point that we're going to be looking for. I mean, if we go, we did already pull a fib, but you can see now we've broken structure or like shifted. We would want to see price be sold back down into discount so we can then buy it back up into premium. Again, that doesn't always happen. Price could just rally off and continue. And if I'm trading, I like to see one point of liquidity being taken before the general direction, before I'm looking to actually get in on a certain position. So we do have actually quite a lot of liquidity down here. We do have some lows down here. Looking into what we had yesterday, is there really anything that we can trade off? I mean, there's got to be something in here. Off the hourly, I wouldn't personally outright take this trade. But we could even maybe see something like this. That would be something that I'd be more so looking to play out. Equally, if price did break above and we started generating liquidity in here, I would look for some sort of pullback into a zone like this and then just to continue the momentum. The only reason why I wouldn't take a straight sell off this is because this didn't actually really cause anything. Yes, we caused this kind of like strong imbalance, but this was NFP, this big wick, and I feel like this is going to be just another liquidity wick, point of liquidity. Even like all down in here, people are going to be buying and having their stop losses below this low. So that's why I'm not surprised if price did go down. But because we are bullish and we do have high time frame targets, I then wouldn't be surprised to see price run higher. So gold, I'm just going to sit and wait and kind of see what happens on this one. Silver had a super amazing trade last week on silver. I was blown away. Um, where are we? It was in here. Two. Yes, I think it was. All right. So let's just go on the daily. It was last week, so let's just do our dailies. So we had Monday, Tuesday. Oh God. So we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll just do it to Thursday because I don't think it was before that. Okay, cool. Yes, it was in here off an hourly, right in this imbalance. So super clean. Targeting this low. Cool. So let's look at silver. Silver, we've been running. Did we come down into the 50%? Yes, of course you did. Really nice. Came into the 50% after breaking this high. You can see when we did come into it, we did feel this imbalance that was in here. We do have an imbalance a little bit lower down into here. This would have been a nice zone that we could have been looking to trade from into our pocket fib. I'm not ruling that off the cards at the moment because price could maybe still do that. But an overall pullback for me is what I would want to be seeing. I think we definitely could just still start running all the way higher, a bit like gold. Just because we have a zone down here doesn't mean that we are going to test it. This is valid from our, we have a high, low, higher high. Anywhere into discounted prices is valid for buys. We came to discounted prices. This is valid. We ran our low before doing so, and then we ran. Weekly, you can see, let's go into a 1 month. Cool. So on the 1 month, you can see that price is on a massive run at the moment, and I do think higher prices still definitely could be on the cards. We do have a lot of highs in here that could be taken. We do have zones in here which could be taken. Did we mitigate this? No, but we kind of came into this imbalance. Do have this imbalance, but overall, I'm just going to be targeting this high. So 37,500 is where I am going to be overall looking for. Obviously, this could happen in years and years to come, but it still could be on the cards. So weekly, we have this high. We came down, we pushed up. We want to be looking for the zone that caused that break. Was in some regards technically down here, but just because it is down here, we did have an imbalance in here, which this imbalance did cause this break out of here. But looking for moves down here isn't going to be wrong. We do have a weekly imbalance in here that we could be looking for. So let's drop it down. What do we have? Cool. So that weekly imbalance is lining up quite nice just with this daily imbalance, which is what I'm looking for. Sweet. So far now, we have broken this high. So now we want to be targeting something in here. You can see we have that last high, which I'm pretty sure was like an Asian high, which hasn't been taken for ages. But now we are shifting. This is really nice to see. Now the question is, are we gonna respect this zone in here like we have been and then continue up? Or are we gonna have a bit of an impulsive move back down and then start pushing up? Break it down to 4 hour. 4 hour, it is just that high that we're looking for. yeah, again, really would quite like to see that New York low get run. That was at 3:30. 1:30 was that 1:30? Yeah, so this is NFP. Again, want to see that get taken out. This is Friday. This is Monday. Monday Asian high. I can probably bet you by the end of this week or the end of next week, this high is going to get run. If you guys want to test something and back test it on the US pairs, more so on gold and silver, Asian highs and lows get ran so much. I mean, I know most session highs and lows will get run, but Asian highs, they will always get run. Always, always, always. So again, same kind of sticky boat that we're in with gold as well. We are looking for longs, but we do have two major points of liquidity that we are resting between. If price wanted to give us a cheeky move like this, that would be nice. That would be a trade that I would look for. That would be a 1 to 4. The only reason why I wouldn't maybe take that straight is because we haven't broken any structures. We're just generating liquidity, and I hate when things like this happen because it's just like a week of nothing. You could have maybe gotten in somewhere like here, but for me, I really want to see that sell to buy. That's the move I'm looking for. Or if we do actually start running, then we can just look for something to trade and then push higher. But silver, personally, I'm just going to wait until we've kind of broken out this little zone here. But going back onto last week, our breakdowns trade really, really nice. We had a massive run, came into this imbalance, and then we pretty much died off from here. We came all the way back down and we ran this old low. So when we ran this old low, we didn't break below it. And as soon as we ran it, we did consolidate, and I did really want to see this get run, but we didn't. We then came and we shifted structures, and I was like, okay, cool. If we're shifting structure, what's going to be a zone that I want to see get respected? We have this imbalance in here. That was really nice. In the Asian session 2 a.m., we broke structures here. We came up, generated liquidity in the form of highs here. And I said, okay, cool. If this is getting respected, then we've broken structure, because even though there's liquidity, structure should be your main point that you're looking for. Structure will trump everything. So even though this was an Asian low, even though it's a low, it was still being respected because it actually achieved something. We swept liquidity within these former lows here, and we filled this imbalance. So that was clearly good enough for silver to continue the run. We started running. I placed my ore. When was this? Friday. So yeah, so literally Friday, when the market opened at 12. I then placed my trade before I went to sleep because it was close, and I thought going into London it could have maybe hit. I wouldn't have been surprised if price actually maybe would have gone down a little bit deeper to go, but we didn't. We literally just got triggered in, and as soon as we got triggered in, price then just ran, and we ran into our target. I was targeting this high because this was the point. You can see it's all basically the same, like areas of supply and demand within the market, demand, supply, demand, supply, blah blah blah. So this for me was a nice sell to buy. You can see this is a point also where we broke structure. We raided liquidity within this point. So for me, this is kind of, well, it's not kind of, it is just a break block. And again, now you can see where price has actually tested it when we came into the NFP. We ran this low. We actually came into the whole of this wick and mitigated. So now, very much well, we could see, in fact, that 15-minute play out and continue the long. So that could be a nice potential opportunity that we could see here. I did have high time frame targets again. What do we have here? 1 a.m., 2 a.m., Asia high. What am I surprised by? Not surprised that it got taken out. Um, even though I do have a lot of these high targets and things, I don't like to hold and milk my trades too much. I like to just get in, get out. This trade was basically for the whole week, so we held it over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, so like 3 days we held this for, gained 4.5 R. Really nice, to be honest with you. With like the funded accounts, you only really need one good 4 R a week, and you're basically done depending on your risk. So that was super nice clean trade. So now again, I want to be waiting for to see if we're going to be pulling back down into these zones, raiding this low and coming into here a bit more, or if we're just going to push up higher. So that's silver. UK 100. UK 100, I've been trading this pair for quite a while. Actually, no, not quite a while. I've been trading it quite recently, sorry. And I do quite enjoy trading it. It's really nice to trade. Um, it is just an index, basically like NAS and US30. So let's kind of take a look at what's happening. So this is UK 100. As you can see, jumping on the weekly, we ran this weekly high. And we created a weekly high again in here. We came down, we had a massive run all the way back down into these old highs. And here again, you can see supply and demand. This is our demand, which all got broken. You can see demand mitigating. We broke it, we came down, we tested, we filled the imbalance, and we liquidated people. So that's three things the banks have done all in one move. They've mitigated out positions, they've closed imbalance, and they've liquidated out the people out of the market. So again, we want to be looking for something similar. We have a big imbalance, big weekly. Whoa, that's horrible line. Big weekly imbalance in here. I want to be looking for price to come anywhere into this imbalance. For me, that's going to be nice and clean. Daily. Again, we do have lower time frame targets. We do have a slight gap here, but if price is going to come down to here, price needs to be coming at anywhere into here anyway. So again, like to have my targets a little bit lower. So for me, I am actually just for now targeting just this low. So we had, what did we have? So price came in and we ran this high up in here. Following that, we broke structure. So sorry, we broke structure, we came down, price raided, we didn't break, and then from there we've kind of just been trickling down, but generating a lot of liquidity in the form of these lows. You can see we have lows here, we have lows here also, which I do want to see get run. We did not come into this imbalance, which I thought we were going to come into, but we didn't. We don't always have to, that's fine. We still ran this old high, and then you can see after that we ran this high in here. Since we ran the time on a lower time frame, we did shift momentum, and then we came back and mitigated this high. So for me, I wanted just to see something within here get tested. You can see from this low price did actually break and close below, and we fell back down, still generating liquidity. I'm still waiting for this low to get taken. So in anything, even if it came below this low, anything still not past this low for me is still liquidity. So we then came right in to this 4 hour. I had two orders. I had an order at the 4 hour, and my target is here, and on the hourly time frame as well. On my back testing, I also had another position like this, and targeting the same points. So you can see so far this short has been doing quite well. Let me go for my daily trade. Where are we? Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Cool. So last week trade triggered, and we are continuing down. I did have an order in here. We literally just missed it yesterday, which is such a shame. But what we did do, annoyingly enough, is we did trade into this breaker block. So in the grand scheme of things, that is actually still, that would have been valid. That is something, that is a trade that you definitely could have taken. Could have had your entry here, stopped just above this hourly high, and then just continue with the momentum. Really, really nice. Again, let's just delete this so we've got a bit more clear space. What have we got? Breaker structure in here. Is there anything in here that we could look to trade from? Maybe not so much. Could maybe see if there was going to be some sort of reaction from this zone. Have some equal highs in here which have not yet been raided. So we could very much well see a little run back up to the top side. We do have a little imbalance in here on the daily. If we use our fib from our low to our high, anywhere above the 50% is going to be valid. If price starts coming in here and on a lower time frame, we do start shifting lower, that will be a good place to sell. Anywhere back up here, maybe we could see a big run. I don't really think so. You can see from this wick in here. What did we do? We ran these highs in here. Asian high, 1 a.m. We ran this high and then we died. So this is our buy to sell. So anywhere kind of within this buy move, could even look for a trade like this. Don't think the R will be that amazing, but honestly, the doesn't always have to be crazy 1 to 10s, 1 to 5s. A nice simple 1 to 3.5 for me would be really clean and really nice. That would actually even be a trade that I would look for. I got my stops. Like you could even know your stops a bit higher. I never take anything less than 1 to 3. That for me, that would actually be really valid. Annoyingly enough, I'm still waiting for my payouts, so all of my accounts are frozen until I actually get my payouts cleared. But look for a pullback to then short. Ooh, that looks so clean. And we have this inverted imbalance in here, which is really nice, which lines up really well. So if you guys do trade UK 100, that could be quite a nice trade to be looking for. If not, failing that, we genuinely could be really fucking annoying and we could run all of that, test this one more time and then come back down. But I would only be really looking to trade here if this one actually really did get invalidated. But so far with our sweeps of liquidity, our mitigations of zones and our break structure, this don't know why you shouldn't be looking for anything different other than this. So that is looking really nice for short. So UK 100, that's looking really, really nice. You GBP USD came into a 12-hour, 4-hour zone. Really, really nice. I did overall want to be seeing these lows get run into this weekly imbalance, which is fine. We still could do that. We do have a breaker block here. That's really nice because that lines up really nicely with this imbalance as well. So for our short move, boom, we had a massive run. We ran, then we died off, breaker structure, looking for the zone that caused that breaker structure. That is that. From there, we came up, we mitigated. And again, NFP low. This is why I'm looking at these lows, because on silver and gold, we all have these lows which we could get run. GPUSD, I do want to see this low get run, and I want to see this high get tested as well. So could right now, it's looking really, really nice. We had shift here, breaker structure here. We came up, and filled more of a high time frame imbalance and zone in here. Really nice breaker block in here. From that, we came back down. What time is this? This is 11:30. So this is still London session. What's a surprise? Asian high run. We have a super. Where is my is that- hang on, I'm just looking for this is okay, that's basically what I'm looking for. So we have this trend line of liquidity here, which is really nice. And again, you can see we have a Asian low here. What a surprise if this gets run. I'm not going to be shocked. Pull up, and first targets is going to be just this low in here and continue in the die off. Whoops. And continue in the short move back down lower into 27100. That is all I'm actually personally looking for now. I don't want to look at too many things. I was looking at Bitcoin and things, but for the time being, I'm going to leave it as there. Some nice trades looking for the week. Two potential really nice ones: UK 100 and GPUSD for shorts. If you guys got any questions about any of these trades, please let me know. Or if you've got any questions, please feel free to fire away, and I will help everyone as much as I can. Have a good week trading, guys. Make sure your discipline and your risk is all intact. And yeah, let's continue smashing the markets. All right, guys. Bye-bye.